She turned to go. Let me find where I accidentally stopped the last video. She turned to go. I hope you'll give yourself and us a chance, Gilly. She ignored the remark. Nice, she thought, climbing the dark stairs. Only a half day, and already the principal was yo-yoing. Give her a week, boy. A week, and she'd have the whole place in an uproar. But this afternoon she'd cool it a little. Let them worry. Then tomorrow, or maybe even the next day, wham! She felt her old powers returning. She was no longer tired. All right. Chapter 4, Sarsaparilla to Sorcery. She met Agnes Stokes the next day at recess. Agnes was a shriveled-up looking little sixth grader from another class. She had long red hair that fell rather greasily to her waist, and when she sidled up to Gilly on the playground, the first thing Gilly noticed was how dirty her fingernails were. I know who you are, the girl said. For a moment, Gilly was reminded of the story of Rumpelstiltskin. Like that little creature, this girl had power over her. She knew who Gilly was, but Gilly didn't see who she was. Yeah, said Gilly, to let the evil little dwarf know that she wasn't interested. That was great about you beating up 6 boys yesterday. Yeah? Gilly couldn't help but be a little interested. It's all over the school. So? So, the little girl leaned against the building beside her as though assuming Gilly would be pleased with her company. So, the girl twitched her freckle nose. I thought me and you should get together. How come? Rumpelstiltskins were always after something. No reason. The smaller girl had on a jacket, the sleeves of which were so long that they came down to her knuckles. She began to roll up first her left sleeve and then her right. She did it slowly and silently as though it was part of some ceremony. It gave Gilly the creeps. What's your name? Gilly blurted out the question, half expecting the girl to refuse to answer. Agnes Stokes. She lowered her voice conspiratorially. You can call me Ag. Big deal. She was glad when the bell rang and she could leave Agnes Stokes behind. But when she left school that afternoon, Agnes slipped out from the corner of the building and fell in step with her. Want to come over? She asked. My grandma won't care. Can't. Gilly had no intention of going into Agnes Stokes' house until she found out what Agnes Stokes was up to. People like Agnes Stokes didn't try to make friends without a reason. She walked faster, but Agnes kept up with the funny little skip steps. When they got all the way up to the hill to Trotter's house, Agnes actually stared up the walk after Gilly. Gilly turned around fiercely. You can't come in today. How come? Because, said Gilly, I live with a terrible ogre that eats up little red-headed girls in one gulp. Agnes stepped back, and with a startled look at her face. Oh, she said, then she giggled nervously. I get it, you're teasing. Aroom golly goshi laboo! Screamed Gilly, bearing down on the smaller girl like a child-eating giant. Agnes backed away. What? Good. She had succeeded in unsettling Rumpelstiltskin. Maybe tomorrow, said Gilly calmly, and marched into the house without turning around. That you, William Ernest, honey? It made her want to puke the way Trotter carried on over that little weirdo. Trotter came into the hall. Oh, Gilly, she said. You got home so quick today. I thought it was William Ernest. Yeah. Gilly stared past her up and started up the stairs. Wait a minute, honey, you got some mail. Mail? It could only be from... And it was. She snatched out of Trotter's puffy fingers and raced up the stairs, slamming the door and falling upon the bed in one motion. It was a postcard showing sunset on the ocean. Slowly, she turned it over. My dearest Galadriel, the agency wrote me that you had moved. I wish it were to hear. I miss you. All my love, Courtney. That was all. Gilly read it again, and then a third time. No, that was not all. Up on the address side in the left-hand corner, the letters were squeezed together so you could hardly read them. An address. Her mother's address. She could go there. She could hitchhike across the country to California. She would knock on the door, and her mother would open it, and Courtney would throw her arms around her and kiss her all over her face and never let her go. I wish it were to hear. I miss you. See, Courtney wanted her to come. All my love. Inside her head, Gilly packed the brown suitcase and crept down the stairs. It was the middle of the night, out into the darkness. No, she shivered a little. She would pick a time when Trotter was fussing over W.E. or Mr. Randolph. She'd steal some food, maybe a little money. People picked up hitchhikers all the time. She'd get to California in a few days, probably less than a week. People were always picking up hitchhikers and beating them up and killing them and pitching their dead bodies into the woods. All because she didn't have any money to buy a plane ticket or even a bus ticket. Gilly's being a little dramatic. Oh, why did it have to be so hard? Other kids could be with their mothers all the time. Dumb, stupid kids who didn't even like their mothers much. While she put her head down and began to cry. She didn't mean to, but it was so unfair. She hadn't even seen her mother since she was 3 years old, her beautiful mother who missed her so much and sent her all her love. You all right, honey? Tap, tap, tap. You all right? Gilly sat up straight. Couldn't anyone have any privacy around this dump? She stuffed the postcard under her pillow and then smoothed the covers that she refused to straighten before school. She stood up at the end of the bed like a soldier on inspection, but the door didn't open. Anything I can do for you, honey? Yeah, fry yourself. Can I come in? No, shrieked Gilly, then snatched open the door. Can't you leave me alone for 1 minute? Trotter's eyelids flapped on her face like shutters on a vacant house. You okay, honey? She repeated. I will be soon as you get out of here. Okay. Trotter backed up slowly towards the stairs. Call me if you want anything. As an afterthought, she said, It ain't a shameful thing to need help, you know. I don't need any help. Gilly slammed the door, then yanked it open. From anybody. She slammed it shut once more. I miss you, all my love. I don't need help from anybody except from you. If I wrote you, if I asked, would you come and get me? You're the only one in the world I need. I'd be good for you, you see. I'd change into a whole new person. I'd turn from gruesome Gilly into gorgeous, gracious, good, glorious, Galadriel, and grateful. Oh, Courtney, oh, Mother, I'd be so grateful. Lord, you are so good to us, Mr. Randolph was saying the supper blessing. Yes, Lord, so very good. We have this wonderful food to eat and wonderful friends to enjoy it with. Now bless us, Lord, and make us truly, truly grateful. Amen. Amen. My Mr. Randolph, you do make a proper blessing. Oh, Miss Trotter, when I sit before the supper of your table, I got so much to be thankful for. Good Lord, how is a person supposed to eat through this garbage? Well, Miss Gilly, how was school for you today? Gilly grunted. Trotter gave her a sharp look. It was okay, I guess. My, you young people have such a wonderful opportunity today. Back when I was going to school, oh, thank you, Miss Trotter. It was a delicious smelling plate. My. To Gilly's relief, the blind man's attention was diverted from his tale of childhood school days to the organization of the food on his plate and the eating of it, which he did from a constant murmuring of delight, dropping little bits from his mouth to his chin or tie. Disgusting. Gilly switched her attention to William Ernest, who, as usual, was staring at her bug-eyed. She smiled proudly in mouth. How do you do, Sweetums? Sweetums immediately choked on a carrot. He coughed until tears came. What's the matter, William Ernest, honey? I think, Gilly smiled, her old lady principal smile. The dear child is choking. It must be something he ate. Are you all right, baby? Said Trotter. W.E. nodded through the tears. Sure? Maybe he needs a pat on the back, Mr. Randolph offered. Yeah, said Gilly. How about it, W.E.? Old man, want me to swat you one? Okay, I'm going to stop there today, and then we'll pick up in the middle of chapter 4 tomorrow, because I don't want to go over 20 minutes of reading to you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today, and we will pick up tomorrow and see what Miss Gilly's up to and how she adjusts to Miss Trotter's house and her new school. Thanks for listening.